Hey guys, Northwest Wilson here. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about my slug bug. This is a 1976 Volkswagen Beetle. I've had this car now for about 3 years. I actually got it in an interesting deal I'll tell you about in a minute. But I thought I'd give this car a quick review and kind of explain to you why I have it and what my plans are for it. So I had a fishing boat, and it was a older 1989 Sea Laker fiberglass boat, and I kind of had my fun with it. I bought it from a guy, one of my friends, who inherited it from his grandfather, and I used it for crabbing locally out here in the Puget Sound, and took it out on a bunch of lakes fishing with it. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it, but it was small. It was 14 feet. It had a 25 horsepower Mercury 2-stroke, and it was taking on a little bit of water, had a little bit of issues. I liked the boat, but I didn't love it enough to really put a bunch of work into it. Really would like to go aluminum. So I put it up on OfferUp for $2,000, and I was getting a bunch of $1,200 and $1,300 offers on it, and I just turned them all down. I wasn't going to let the boat go for that. I was in the boat a couple grand. I had made some improvements to it, and so I kind of wasn't ready to let it go for that price. And so anyway, I kind of forgot about the ad on OfferUp for a while. I just kind of forgot it was there. I didn't go on OfferUp or Craigslist at all, and just kind of forgot about it for several months. Notice there's really no shaft blade on the crank. Motor's in great shape. This is a fuel injected Volkswagen. I believe the fuel injection started in 74 or 75. So anyway, yep, this is fuel injection. There's a lot going on in this engine bay. Not as clean and clear cut as a carbureted setup, but it does all work. It's a Bosch fuel injection setup. But anyway, I forgot about the ad for a while, and then I had a guy message me and say, hey, would you be interested in trading for a Beetle? And I thought, forgot about it on the ad, and I said, yeah, I'll take a look at it. It had been so quiet on responses and I was looking at storing it for another year. I didn't want to deal with it. So I said, sure, send me some pictures. And I thought, oh, it's going to be all rusted out, and floor pans are going to be bad and all that stuff. And so anyway, I got some pictures from the man, and he said, here they are, and sent me several pictures from about a 10-15 foot distance. The car looked good, so I said, yeah, I'll come take a look at it. He was up the street about 20 minutes from me, so I decided to go up there and take a look. And when I got to his house, the car was absolutely buried in his shop with a bunch of stuff all over it. It had not been out for a while, and so he said, hey, there's a jump box, you can grab it and fire it up. So I crawled around underneath the car, was looking for any kind of indicators of heavy rust or other issues. I didn't see any, so I was pretty surprised actually when I saw the condition of it. When I went in the garage, I was pretty surprised he was willing to trade straight up. I mean, this would be a straight up trade. I made that clear in communications with him over the internet, and so I got there and fired it up, and it started quickly. It did not smoke, it did not knock, and it fired right up. It idled out, and the clutch seemed good. I put it in gear and slowly released the pedal, and it grabbed. But the car was in no position to drive because it was just boxed in. It had just years worth of stuff in front of it. So I said, yeah, I'm very interested in the car, and I said, I'd like you to come look at the boat. And so he came over that afternoon, looked at the boat, and said I would love this boat. And I couldn't believe it. I really could not believe it. I was clearly getting the better deal on this trade. And so he goes, his only complaint was, hey, would you mind putting a new tongue jack on this, on the boat trailer? I said, absolutely. So I went down to Harbor Freight and I grabbed a $20 or $15 tongue jack, and I put that on, and yeah, set him up, and I ended up dropping the boat off the next morning, and I drove this thing out of there. I was a little concerned when I pulled it out of the driveway. I had not driven the car. I did not know if it stopped, but it did. I continued to drive it home. I left my truck there. I towed the boat to his house. I left my truck there. I drove this home, and I told my wife to go back and she can drop me off, pick up my truck. And I drove this thing home, and it was incredible. It ran and drove absolutely amazing. It stops great. You know, they're not powerful. You're not gonna win any 0 to 60 contests in this car. You're gonna be lucky to merge onto the freeway and be at speed by the time the on-ramp dissolves. So this is not a powerhouse. I think they're right at 40 horse, or just somewhere around 40 horsepower. The only issue with it is it does have, I don't know if you can see in there, a little bit of tear on the top seat, the rear seat. That's it, guys. I mean, that is it. The only rusted it does have is it's got a little bit of bubbling right here, which is a common spot for Volkswagens. Unfortunately, it is getting a little worse. Got a little spot up in here. But I mean, guys, this car is incredibly straight. It's had a respray, but most cars in this era have. As you can see, I don't think, yeah, this is open. I do have the spare tire for it in the garage. Nice and clean in here. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the windshield washer squirter runs off of the pressure in the spare tire. So that's a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that until I got the car. So anyway, we decided we had to go transfer titles. Went up to the title office, and the man actually bought and paid for my fees. And I the entire time, guys, I was trying to figure out what is wrong with this car. Why is this man wanting to trade this really nice Bug straight up with no money coming from me, just the boat, and he was giving me the Beetle. I was clearly on the better end of this deal. I couldn't believe it. And come to find out that he had 2 DUIs. One of them was very recent, and if he got caught running another vehicle without a blow-and-go in it, an ignition interlock device, he was going to be in big trouble. So the temptation to drive this, I think, was too much, and it was just going to sit there for quite some time. And he told me that he really wants to take his boy fishing. I guess he had a young boy that expressed a lot of interest in going to fish. So I think it came down to he just didn't care about the value. And he did actually tell me that he that he did some side work and some labor trades in part on the car. So he wasn't in the car a ton of money. It was just more of I think it was more of a labor loss for him than an actual money loss. But at the end of the day, guys, I could not believe driving this thing back from the title office how good of a car this really was. I've taken it to a Volkswagen its specialist here in Seattle, who gave the car a thorough look over, and he thought it's in remarkable condition for a 76. There's just not that many of them running around in this kind of condition anymore. So it's been good. I enjoy driving it, and it is a lot of fun. It starts every time. And so there's kind of a brief overview on how I got the car. My plans with it, I'm not sure, guys. I don't really want to do a whole lot to it. This is a stock car. These are stock wheels. I like the car as it is. Sure, it'd be cool with a lowering kit and some chrome rims, some dished out rims, maybe a roof rack on the top. But you know, something that's this original in this condition, there's value in that. There really is. And if you wanted to slam one down and put a roof rack on it and do something wild with it, there's a bunch of platforms you can start with out there that have been hacked up or whatever. But I do like to modify stuff, I really do, but I think I'm just going to keep this one stock. And honestly, guys, I just don't know how long I'm going to own it for. I've had it now for probably 2.5 years, 3 years, and I don't know what my plans are with it. I like to keep it. I do love classics. I know that I will never be into a nice Volkswagen Bug like this for the amount of money that I'm into it. I do know that if I go to sell it, I think $6,000 to $8,000 is a pretty easy number to get. That's what I've been told by some pretty good enthusiasts. Definitely get $8,000, fix that back seat, and maybe possibly recover the driver's seat. There's a little bit of a crack in the interior upholstery on that. I think at that point you're looking at an $8,000 car. That's what I've been told. As is, most people say $6,500 to $7,500, no problem. That's what I've been told, and I believe it. I mean, I look online frequently at cars, and I've looked at these extensively. The $6,000 to $8,000 range is definitely right. So I think I'm not in a pinch for money right now. I don't think I really need to get rid of it. I do enjoy driving it. Don't know how much I'm going to drive it now since I have a newborn and car seats do not go in this car. But I do enjoy doing it. We're coming into the summertime here, and hopefully I can get some time to drive it. But take you guys for a drive, and we're gonna drive this Bug and kind of go through the motions with it. So here we go. All right, guys, let's get it started up. There it goes. Runs great. Fasten seatbelt lights, come on. I don't know if you can see here, but there's this red blinking light. I'm not honestly exactly sure what that does. I've never chased the wires in it. It always blinks. I honestly think that it was a little fake security light. I don't think it's really anything more than that. Second. And then there's third. This is a 4-speed manual. This is not one of the semi-automatics, the auto stick or whatever they called them back then. They did have like it had an actual shift, or it was the auto. I can't remember what Volkswagen called this. I'll look it up. Maybe I'll throw it in the video. Another thing about this car, this is not a Super Beetle. This is a standard Beetle. The Super Beetles had minor differences to them, but the biggest deal was that they had a McPherson strut style front suspension, where this is just your standard I-beam. So this will kind of give you an idea of acceleration. There's 20, 25, 30, 35, the third, and there's 45, into fourth gear. It's not a fast car by any stretch of the imagination. It does keep up with traffic. It will do 70 miles an hour on the freeway. I think kind of the sweet spot for this car is about 55, 65. That's kind of where it seems happy. You start going over 65 and you just feel like you're really pushing the car. But you know, honestly, for up here in the Northwest, with so much traffic, guys, it's pretty rare to be actually doing 70 or 70 plus anymore. There's just so much traffic. But as you can see, the car really drives nice. I mean, I'm not touching the steering wheel. It doesn't really sway or drift in the road. It's pretty quiet in here. The seats are comfortable. The radio works, but it's got a blown out speaker. That's definitely something I want to get corrected. But driving the car, it's very comfortable. It's I'm 6 feet tall. I have plenty of room in here. The passenger floorboard has absolutely tons of room. I mean, there is zero shortage of leg room in this car. Now that's for the driver and passenger. The back seats, however, that's a different story. It's cramped back there. But it's a nice driving car, and I enjoy driving it. It gets a lot of looks when you take it out. People really do enjoy seeing the old Beetles. Every time I go to the gas station, which I do run non-ethanol fuel in this car. There's a gas station locally in Snohomish that sells non-ethanol fuel. It's the Snohomish Co-op in downtown. It's a great place to see a lot of vintage cars, because there's most everyone who has vintage cars, or you know, lawnmowers, all that kind of stuff, they want to run non-ethanol, and you're going to see a lot of really cool cars down there. Every time I go down, it definitely is a conversation piece for a lot of people. Oh, that was my first car, or you know, what have you. But the car's nice. It does run good, and I do really enjoy it. I would miss this car a lot if I did sell it, but you know, selling the car is I'm definitely not against it. If the right offer came up, I would let it go. But yeah, as you can see, it's fun to drive. I do enjoy stepping back in time and out of the modern technology cars, and just kind of getting back into the just like the basics of a car. You know, standard shift. I personally love a manual transmission. Automatics have come a long way in the last 10 years. With Volkswagen has their DSG transmission, which I have in the 2012 Jetta wagon that I have, which I'll do a review on at some point. I was hesitant buying that, but it's a great automatic. It really is. But there is something to be said for stepping back into the old stuff and just running an old standard shift car. Cluster view. Just an absolute basic instrumentation. No tack. It does have some warning lights, generator, which is your alternator. It has a rear defroster light, oil pressure light. As you can see, your turn signals. That turn signal does both left and right. It's a very basic dash. Very basic. These are just really basic cars, but that's you know, that's why they lasted so well, and why they have such a great following. This was really a, you know, the Volkswagen Beetle. I'm not going to give you a complete rundown of its history, but it has a long history, and a absolute huge fan base. But the vintage Volkswagen stuff is just really hot, and it seems the market on them seems to get hotter as time has gone on, from what I can tell. But it's got a little shift pattern indicator there, so you know, kind of know what you're doing. It's just a basic stick shift. It's literally a long stick that goes into the ground, into the floorboard, and then there's some linkages that connect to your transmission. Glove box, nice little rear view mirror. But this is it's a great car. As you can see, the back seat area, it's cramped. You know, it's cramped. You're not going to be spending a ton of time back there. I wouldn't put two people back there and take them on a long road trip. But anyway, guys, I hope this kind of shows you a little bit about the 76 Beetle, kind of how I got it and what my plans are for it. If you guys have one of these cars, or you know a lot about Volkswagen Beetles, post up in the comment section. I'd enjoy hearing from you. But I hope that kind of gives you an overview of this car. It's one of the many cars that I own. One of the first really reviews, and kind of how I got into it cars that I'm going to be doing for the channel. So I hope you guys had fun with it. And as always, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.